Okay guys, I don't know if you remember, but in episode 17 I got charged by a goat, and I'm approaching that same goat now. It's actually standing up, asserting its dominance on top of this farm machinery. Okay, it may not come down today, but it's looking at me. It looks like it recognizes me. Oh. Yeah. G'day, I'm Kama.
And I'm Blowy.
It's the Kama Blowy Show.
Kama and Blowy, Kama and Blowy, walking and talking. Kama and Blowy, Kama and Blowy.
Good morning, Kama. How are you?
It's actually morning today, Blowy. Good observation. And yeah, we had rain this morning, but it's actually nice and sunny now. Still hot as anything, but a little bit windy. Hopefully that doesn't interfere with the sound too much.
No, well, it's obviously cold here, being winter and all, and still in lockdown, still got my mask on. So sorry about that, everyone, but it doesn't seem to affect the audio too much.
It does sound a bit muffled, but yeah, like it's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad. And I've got something really cool I want to talk to you about today, Kama.
Oh yeah?
I really want to talk to you about something really cool.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, I'm about to tell you. No, I'll tell you soon.
Okay. Hey, hold on. Sorry, I'm getting a call.
Oh, really?
Just one sec. Yeah, someone's calling. Oh, it's Kirsty Fields, or as you call her, Kirsty Fields. One sec. Kirsty, how you doing?
Man, it's Kirsty, all the way from Redcliffe in Queensland, otherwise
Wow.
known as Kirsty.
Well, let's just start there, Kirsty. On this podcast, we
Well, hang on, boys, have who have I got on my phone? There seems to be another person on the phone. Who is it?
Well, you call Kama, but when you call Kama, you also get Blowy, because we're bros. We're doing a podcast at the moment. So Kama didn't even.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, Kama didn't even let you know, but we're in the middle of filming a podcast, and you called up, and you're on speakerphone, so I can hear you.
Well, it's pretty good timing, because I was actually thinking about you, Joe, but I was ringing Kama. I'm actually out at the Redcliffe Jetty, and I just thought I'd check in to say hi and congratulate him on the new little baby and stuff. And so, great timing. Sorry to interrupt the episode.
You just went down for the wholesome Redcliffe activity of doing some jetty jumping, did you?
Well, actually, I should have brought my togs. I could have done that for you guys, but no, I've just been locked up after the Eka winds and just needed a little bit of sunshine. So I've just come out for a walk. I'm just walking back down the jetty now to the arcade.
Okay, so Kirsty, you've just used a fair bit of language that a few of our viewers who, we've got an international audience here, they're not going to understand words like togs or eka.
And maybe even jetty, jetty potentially.
Even jetty.
It's a pretty good combination, yeah. So togs is my swimmers or my bikinis, and something that you probably don't want to see in the middle of winter with my white body. And the jetty, I'm actually just walking underneath the central pavilion of the jetty, which is, I don't know, what's another word for jetty?
Pier.
Yeah, like a bridge that doesn't go anywhere. A pier, yeah. So the viewers might be able to see in the background of my video footage the pavilion that's behind me. So, and the jetty that goes, or the bridge to nowhere behind me.
Yeah, and as teenagers, we used to go out there a lot and jump off that jetty. You're not supposed to do it, but yeah, we never got into trouble.
Well, I did.
I was never as wild as you guys.
You got into trouble then?
Yeah, I nearly got suspended from school or expelled or something, because me and my mate Woody, we went down there at lunchtime one day, and because it was really hot, and we went to the jetty and jumped off, did a few flips, had a bit of a swim, and during lunchtime, and we went and bought some ice creams, and we had no shoes on, and we're walking back to school, and the principal drove past and he saw us, and he goes, "When you get back, my office." And so we had to go to his office, and we got in big trouble. So
Hey, I've picked up a stray cat that started following me. It's very small and looks malnourished, and yeah, I don't know how long it's going to
are
follow
you
me.
going to keep
but,
it?
I think it thinks it's his dad. No, 3 is enough, but it's. I got attacked by a goat in the last episode, and now I'm being.
I saw that. That was pretty crazy.
Can you get a close-up of the
Wild
cat?
animals of Japan.
Oh yeah,
Get
I'll get a
nice
close-up.
close-up.
Hey, pussycat.
What colour is it? Explain it to the listeners.
Oh, it's kind of I think, what do they call?
Tabby.
It's kind of got that shell, tortoise shell, or whatever, with white.
Is it a bit ratty, or does it look clean?
It is. It doesn't look the best. But anyway, that's enough of the cat. I know cat videos, are very popular on the internet, but I don't really want to go down that route. It's still, I thought it had kind of fallen off, but it's still kind of walking behind me. It's we'll see how.
And Kama, before we go into the episode, I just want to show you something, and all the listeners as well, and Kirsty, of course. I've got some blossoms here. It looks like cherry blossoms, and it's just beautiful. It's coming a little bit early this year. I showed you the last one, but this is quite amazing. So.
Okay, so Kirsty, now that we've got you there, one thing I'd like to talk to you about is about this this Facebook group that Pete, Leong, you, and I created 12 or so years ago, and its sudden burst of popularity.
Yeah, it's I think back in March, before we started our crazy 2020, we had 300 members, and then so what is it? We were in the middle of August, end of August, and I think we're right on 9,000. So I don't know. I'm not very good at maths. I never really have been. I don't know what the percentage of growth is there, but it's about 4,000 million% growth in the last 6 months.
So can you just start just by
it's pretty
explaining the name of the group and kind of what it's about?
Yeah, so our Facebook group is called I Grew Up in Redcliffe, Queensland, but I'm not a bevan. And for all
Okay, bevan, oh my goodness, our international listeners are going to be losing their minds at the moment. You're going to
I
have
think
to...
even interstate.
our Facebook group members have been losing their mind over the word bevan. So some of the members have got no idea what that's about, and some of them do, and some of them are proudly bevans and they've snuck into the group. I'm not sure how we let them in, but the bevans are well and truly in.
Yeah, and what is a bevan?
Well, a bevan is someone who loves cars. So I've actually just stopped there for a second just while you were talking about that, and in the background is the jetty. I've kind of walked away and I'm going to continue walking along towards the Redcliffe lagoon. But for the people who are bevans or aren't bevans, where I'm walking is along Redcliffe Parade, which is below the shops, and so it's a pretty iconic spot of the town where we grew up. And although I think the bevans have escaped in, the group was kind of started as a tongue-in-cheek thing, because us guys as kids we were rollerbladers and skaters and skateboarders and the anti-bevans of the world. So it's a bit of an inside piece of information for all those people in the group that might end up watching this little chat. Sorry guys, but it really wasn't designed for you in the first place. You have snuck in and taken over, but I think it's all really added to the fun and the games and the lifting of spirits in the last 6 months has been really important.
Yeah, so back in the
I think it's
80s
been
and the
positive.
90s, there were lots of bevans. Every Friday night and Saturday night, they'd kind of go down to the main street, Anzac Avenue, and go back and forth in their cars, do burnouts, and sometimes there'd be fights, and people would be dropping oil at the main intersection and doing donuts and skids and all kinds of stuff. But we would often be like rollerblading along the road, and they'd be throwing bottles from the car at us and yelling at us and everything. So obviously not all bevans are like that, but a lot of them were not the biggest fan of young rollerbladers, and we were often the target of their kind of attacks.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because my older brother Leon Leon Fields. A few people probably know him. He was an ultimate cross of both. He was a skateboarder and a hot rod loving car revhead, bevan. So I kind of sat in the middle of wanting to kind of hang out with my older brother's mates who didn't want their ditzy little sister hanging around them, and you guys who were rollerblading and tearing up the concrete streets and rails of Redcliffe. And actually, I'm probably not that far away from one of your regular haunts. Maybe I should. I'm a couple of minutes away, but I'll take you there and give you a bit of a flashback to those Friday nights of yours.
And go inside the amphitheater if you can, and show that beautiful stone amphitheater. And then, yeah.
I'm just coming up to the start of the Redcliffe Lagoon. So for those people who are familiar with Redcliffe from their days of youth, from many decades ago, you may never have actually seen the Redcliffe Lagoon. It's a bit of a tourist hotspot for Brisbaneites to cross the big bridge onto the rock, and it's a pretty beautiful place. We used to bring our kids down here a lot before we had our own pool at home, and it's amazing what the city of Redcliffe, like, you know, if we put that to the Redcliffe Council, here's my adult talk, what the Redcliffe Council have done for the city of Redcliffe for our kids is pretty impressive. And spent many fun day down here. I can't remember, guys, how old would we have been when the lagoon, we were kids. I mean, it was here when we were kids, but I don't remember how old I was exactly.
That was the first lagoon, wasn't there? Do you remember the first iteration? It was a bit different. It had sand, it had a water slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a water slide. That was so bad. And then there's, I don't know, disease or some viruses or something. Yeah.
Algae outbreak, I remember it just went bright.
Because of the sand. It was the sand that was the problem. So they got rid of all the sand, dredged it out.
It would have been maybe 1996, I think, that one of our mates, Dick, we went down there at night time, and we got him to jump into the earlier version of the lagoon, fully clothed with his rollerblades on.
Oh, and, no.
Then we got kicked out by City Safe, the security guards employed by the local council.
I might just walk over a little bit for your international listeners. You might be able to hear the little mushroom fountains we used to sit in as kids, even though it's designed for 2-year-olds. But I remember sitting in there quite a bit as a teenager. And actually, I'll just do it, turn around. So behind me, they've got like a rope thing. You know those things from the Redcliffe pool, like the lane holder. I don't know what they're doing with that. And there's some council guys doing some work on the steps. So it looks like it's closed to swimming at the moment, but it's practically warm enough to go swimming if it was open. But here's a barbecue. I've had many sausage sizzles at that barbecue right there. But yeah, it's pretty amazing, and it's all free. So people inundate Redcliffe to come to the lagoon with their kids on weekends, and it's lovely. And like on the other side of me is Moreton Island, and today, guys, it's so clear. I can see all the sand dunes. Yeah, it's perfectly clear after the Eka winds. And yeah, so the Eka winds we were talking about before is Eka's short for exhibition. So, you know, like where all the farm animals come in from the country, and all the cake competitions, and the farmers bring their fruit and wares, and you know, wood chopping competitions, all those crazy things.
It was cancelled this year, wasn't it?
And hot dogs.
They had to cancel it because of COVID.
Yeah, it's cancelled. Yeah, and I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't been to the Eka in a very long time, but I know there's many disappointed people who couldn't get there. But the Eka winds, we call them the Eka winds because it's super windy here in Brisbane at this time of the year when the Eka's on. So they were still here. So I was really lucky that I've been able to catch you and chat to you clearly today, because I wouldn't have been able to the last few days.
No. Yeah. So this Facebook group, can you just kind of give us a bit of a idea of how this kind of this popularity just kind of came about?
Well, I think there's a few people in the group who are claiming ownership of why we've all of a sudden become popular, but it's quite a contentious issue, I think, at the moment. But to be honest, I think you know, so a few locals have found the group, or you know, perhaps we invited some friends. I don't know which one came first, like the egg or the chicken type scenario, but one person invites some schoolmates, who invites some more schoolmates, and then we've had people just doing that over and over and over. I think there's some days we had hundreds and hundreds of people requesting to be in the group, and they just got let in. So that's how the bevan slipped in, that's for sure. But as a result, we've had people who seem to be quite elderly, because I say that because the era of their school photos, you know, from the 40s and 50s and the 60s, and no disrespect to them, but you know, we're 80s and 90s kids, so they're a bit older than us. But I just spotted someone up on the Amphitheater who reminded me of no, I don't, but it just reminded me of one of the characters of conversation in our Facebook group. Actually, you might remember him. He's as the Badger.
Oh, the Badger.
The Badger.
Yeah, it's not him, but that was a really funny moment just then, where I saw a gentleman in a floral shirt and a backpack, and to the lesser known eye, you would have thought that it was the Badger. I'm just trying to walk around him and his little child, because it's not the Badger. So I'm actually on the stage of the Amphitheater right now, and just gonna spin around and look out the window behind me. I'm in one of those little windows we used to sit in, and you guys probably used to jump through. I'm not quite sure all the things that you got up to, but I actually don't remember these stairs. There's some stairs behind me that look a bit more like a professional theatre stage, but this amazing rock wall gives great views out across Moreton Bay behind me, and off the stage here is a basketball court, which is where I have shot many hoops in my time with the boys. Yeah, I've played a bit of ball when we were in high school. Used to actually play a lot of basketball on the front drive of my neighbour's house. We grew up on Eversley Road, and had a couple of young fellas move into the house next door, and they put a hoop up on the veranda, the front veranda of one of those typical Scarborough, you know, two-storey houses with the concrete patch underneath the house. It was a garage, but you know, I think there's about 70% of the houses in Redcliffe that have that kind of similar style. Well, we grew up on one of those, but my smart neighbours put a hoop on the end of their veranda, so we had the whole driveway as our mini basketball court, which was awesome after school. There's a bit of traffic actually. I've just come up onto the road above the lagoon to take you to your special place, guys. But yeah, played a bit of ball, and that was a thing in my neighbourhood as teenagers, and we were BMXers before that, riding the tracks of Scarborough and up through the bush. That was one of the things that we talked about in the Facebook group a bit, is the bicycle tracks and jumps around Redcliffe.
It sounds like we're getting a bit of wind there.
No, that's my
Oh, your
end.
end, is it, Kama?
I think it's not, yeah, Kama.
Bloody Kama.
I'm just walking up the stairs to, well, actually I think some of the rails are missing from what used to be here, but I'm walking up the stairs to that memorial above the lagoon and the, what do you call them? The Nippers clubhouse. And I know that the angle of some of these railings might be angled because of you guys. You're just gonna say these green rails are still green, but they seem to be quite freshly painted compared to how they were when I was a teenager. I won't say why they weren't so green back then, but they're very freshly painted right now. I'd say that someone in very recent time has had the job of freshening them up.
So people who are watching this may not understand, they won't be able to fill in the blanks here, but basically on our rollerblades we used to grind as we say, down those hand railings between like our center wheels on the plastic frame. And we had a lot of bales. We fell over and hurt ourselves, smashed our shins, but we had some good times and learned how to do handrails there.
I'm just having a look around and seeing what else you might have been skating on, just trying to jog my memory. But I suggest it was just from the top to the bottom over and over, wouldn't it be?
I went there one day, this guy came, right, and he came up to me, he goes, "Hey mate, do you know where the closest drop zone is?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah mate, there's a toilet down there." And he goes, "Ah!" And he laughed for like 5 minutes and he goes, "Nah mate, I'm looking for the parachuting place. I do skydiving." And he had this helmet which had a camera attached to it, like it was a big SLR camera back in the day, because it was quite a long time ago. They didn't have small GoPros, and he had this massive helmet cam, and he went and took photos of us grinding down those rails. But he was pretty impressed.
The drop zone, very good.
Yeah.
You guys have been in a few videos skating.
Oh, you know. We all take it in our stride. It's no big deal for us. Fame and fortune, just another chapter of our lives.
Well, I'm just walking back down a set of one of the big stairs back down to Sutton's Beach. And actually behind me there's an extension of the Nippers clubhouse is like doubling in size behind me, I just seen. But I'm walking down to the iconic Sutton's Beach. I'll come down here a fair bit actually to go for walks in the evening with my husband Simon. It's a great spot to be, and equally great view is around the Redcliffe Jetty. And I think probably this is probably the beach that everyone who ever lived on the north side of Brisbane in the last 50 years has been here for barbecues or picnics or fun runs or all sorts of crazy stuff.
Sutton's.
It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice spot. Do you miss it?
Yeah, but I mean, I always feel I can go back. Like I've got family there, so I don't feel like it's. I don't think like a band-aid that's been ripped away or anything.
Yeah, well, my band-aid hasn't been ripped off because I've been here forever. apart from when I was at Cairns, when I was going to uni, and you guys came up and visited me.
Okay guys, I don't know if you remember, I've been in episode 17, I got charged by a goat and I'm approaching that same goat now. It's actually standing up, asserting its dominance on top of this farm machinery. Okay, it may not come down today, but it's looking at me, it looks like it recognises me.
Yeah, it probably enjoyed that last I heard it. Yeah. Oh, come on, attack Kama.
Oh.
That was.
I think it's stretched. No, I think it's quite comfortable up there today.
Yeah, damn.
Okay. I think maybe it appreciates my I don't know, restraint today. Anyway, so sorry, Kirsty. I'd like to go back to the Facebook group. Now, you'd imagine with a group like this, I guess what also distinguishes it from the other groups. There's so many groups that are like. Redcliffe community groups that are kind of saying what's happening right now in the community. But this seems to be the only one really that is for people who grew up there and kind of just want to reminisce.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's definitely the thing that makes us unique. We're not about posting about your garage sales or asking for recommendations for anything. It's about posting memories or asking if you remember something special or posting photos or not sure what happened there, Dave. Did you just get taken by a goat? That was a funny sound. Yeah, it's really separated itself in terms of what it offers. And for anyone who hasn't actually been to the group and grew up in Redcliffe, through their childhood. This is a group for you, and what's awesome is when people rock up, they normally post a photo of themselves like then and now, or they find some old class photos from their school days, like the old, when you used to print photos back in the day. They take photos of their printed class photos and share them, or even share photos of their family or cars, thanks to the bevans. And we've got some really great proactive group members who are sharing historical photos from around Redcliffe, which I think really gets the group going and excited, and remembering our childhood, because I think we all had a pretty unique childhood growing up in Redcliffe, and as adults, I think we now appreciate that a little bit more than maybe what we did when we were kids, of course, with hindsight. But I think that's what we all have in common, and that's part of the positivity of our Facebook group, of course. I'm actually just walking past right now the iconic Sutton's Beach Pavilion, which used to be the old Redcliffe Museum, for all you old folks in the group. I think it stopped being a museum when I was quite young, a young child, and it's turned into restaurants and whatnot since. But yeah, I think I really love to check in on the group regularly and see people's photos and read the funny conversations. One of the other things is we have a pretty low tolerance to bullying. We don't have a low tolerance for swearing. We kind of allow swearing, I suppose, maybe more than some other groups, but I think that's probably reflective of Redcliffe folks, actually. I don't think we're too precious about anything in life. We're certainly not precious about swearing. I swear like a trooper, and I guess that's why I don't mind, or I've got some tolerance for it on social media, but I think we've really been successful generating happy memories, particularly during 2020. I think that's really why we've grown in number. People have maybe had a little bit more time on their hands and reaching out and reconnecting with friends and family and good memories, and I think the group's really succeeded at helping out with that.
Mm-hmm. But it's not possible to keep everyone happy, is it?
No. and there'll be lots of people who probably may have even come and left the group already, or we have had some circumstances where we've had to remove some people, unfortunately. They just didn't understand that perhaps the group wasn't what they thought it could be or should be, but that's okay. We don't have to have everybody like us or like each other. It's not like nothing like that is real. We don't like everybody. We're not friends with everybody in real life, and Facebook groups certainly not going to make that happen in another way. So I think overall we've succeeded. There was probably a portion of time when we had some really strong growth, but we had some miscommunications. That's when we kind of set some rules in place for the group to help our members understand what the expectations should be, could be, would be. We asked for some feedback in that space too.
And I think they're pretty simple, really simple rules that everyone can get behind. Like basically make sure that it's on topic, you're not bullying anybody. That's pretty much it really, isn't it?
For sure. I don't think it's hard to understand to be kind and speak nicely and share good memories, share bad memories. Of course, we didn't all have a perfect childhood. That's okay. So there's lots of things I think yet to share that we perhaps haven't even thought of. We did have a bit of a flop.
Oh, sorry. Personally, some of my favourite posts are the ones that are really raw accounts of some of the hardships that people have faced. There's no glossing over or sugarcoating this stuff, but as it's a real account of what life was like. It was tough life for lots of people in Redcliffe. It was like a working class kind of community, and not everyone had everything they wanted, including a safe home, or there was. And so bullying, we don't allow bullying, but we allow people to talk about bullying, obviously, and we have to be careful with accusations because we don't want to end up we don't know when you're kind of throwing accusations out there who's right, who's wrong. it's not really the place for accusations.
Every story and every side will come at it from a different angle. We probably accept that and not taking sides, but just accepting that an accusation it might just not have as strong a merit as how you might feel on a personal level or an emotional level. And to that end, we encourage people to reach out and take some support when they're still so emotionally attached to something that happened that might not have been so positive in their life as well. I think that's a really important message to get out there too.
I'm hearing some funny noises from someone.
Yeah, I just walked past a bunch of elderly community members with some huge dogs that decided they needed to stop and have a chat with each other. And I needed to walk through them, sorry.
No, it's good. We like having dogs and cats and goats on our podcast, so the more the merrier.
Yeah, I'm just bringing my animal flavour. I'm actually at the other end of Sutton's Beach, so I need to turn back now, guys. Anyway, I've got to keep moving.
Time to wrap up, I think, and thanks for coming on the Kama Blowy Show. Just before you go though, can you just kind of let people know how they can find you?
Yeah, I'm online. I'm big into social media away from our Facebook group because I run my own marketing agency. So you can find me at Social Ocean AU if that's of interest to you. And I'm in all the places, you know, Facebook and Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter.
And you're a poet.
All the places.
You're a poet because that just rhymed what you said then.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I'll add that to my byline, poet. All right. Well, hey, nice.
Kirsty, how we sign off, don't you?
I do. What do you want to do today?
It's your choice.
That's
you're
up
the
to
guest.
you.
Oh, it's my choice.
Yeah.
I think I might have to just keep it standard and do an awesome fist pump.
Fist bump. All right.
Okay.
Just fist into the can.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Boom.
G'day, I'm Kama. And I'm Blowy.
It's the Kama Blowy Show.
Kama and Blowy.